See, this is what happens when you start talking about fucking the industry, brother.
Sometimes you just gotta like take it.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another video and shit. This is me in the future right now. So this is after everything that I did. This video, I go more to the process of my process of the tattoo and all that shit. My last video, it was more, I didn't go too much into depth of my process, but this one is more into it. And I kind of have a conversation with my client and stuff. So hopefully it's a little more interesting. We're gonna start with a little speed, a little time lapse of my process of doing the design and shit. So here's that. Alright, so the speed paint's kind of started after I did the sketch and everything, just because I hella forgot to fucking start recording my shit. I was originally just gonna use the Clip Studio time lapse, but I don't really like how, depending on the size of your canvas, it'll like that's the size of the fucking video, and obviously the canvas size is pretty skinny, so it wouldn't really cover up the screen as much. So I thought screen recording would be more appealing. I thought of that kind of midway. So in my next video, I'll for sure screen record the whole process, the sketch and everything. I'll be getting better at it because sometimes I'll fucking pause the recording when I go do something, and then when I come back and start drawing, I'll forget to fucking unpause it. So then another like 30 minutes of footage is fucking gone and shit, but I'm getting more used to it. But yeah, for this process, I just, my homie was hitting me up like, hey, I'm trying to get a tattoo. So I was like, bet that. And obviously, when it comes to my clients, I always have them give me an idea of what they're trying to do. Obviously, because I do custom designs. So he sent me a bunch of sigilism type of tattoo design. And then after I asked him certain aspects that he was trying to put in design, and he was saying how he wanted a cross and stuff like that. So I kind of threw in, hey, maybe we could add a rose because, roses are chill as fuck, some chill shit. It definitely, I feel like it added to the tattoo a lot. And obviously in here, I kind of blended in the rose a lot. So it flowed more with the tattoo design rather than it just being there and stuff, I always start with the messy ass sketch, and then I slowly add my details and shit afterwards. Obviously you didn't see the messy sketch in this one, but that's what I always do. I did a detailed little layer afterwards, and I wasn't really fucking with it. So what I did is I turned the opacity down, kind of restarted it, and just went over parts that I didn't really fuck with and changed them. And I also added more shading and blending to the tattoo. And honestly, I'm glad I did that because I feel like it made the tattoo look way better in the end. I also really like this type of art style as well. Obviously, not everybody fucks with it, but that's totally okay. But in my opinion, I feel like that shit looks badass. So when my homie was talking about how he wanted a tattoo like this, you already know I was like, hell yeah, bro, let's do that shit. And obviously, I feel like I went in and decided to add more details because usually sigilism will be just lines and stuff, But I feel like for a longer sleeve, it would be better just to make it more detailed, and that's what I did for this. Obviously, some people weren't looking for a lot of detail, but my homie was down and shit. So, but yeah, also let me know what other shit y'all trying to see if y'all fuck with these type of videos as well. I could do just painting videos and art videos in general because obviously been without tattooing, I'm still fucking drawing and all that shit, but tattooing is just what I'm doing on my daily, so why not just make videos? But here's the design, the finished piece and stuff. Yup, there's the finished product and shit. Here's a little version of it being on the arm. This is like a forearm. You could like see the outline of it.
No shit.
But yeah, the day before, finna hit the gym, eat, slump. Gonna be up early tomorrow, so I'll see y'all once I'm at the shop and shit. It was hairy.
No, but
Alright, obviously right here you can see me shaving my boy's arm and all that shit. Got him from fucking being like Chewbacca and shit to having his arm all fucking baby smooth. Alright, here's the stencil applicator I use. It's called the Good Stencil Solution. Before I used one that was called the Jiznit. Fire ass name, but it just wasn't sticky enough for me and shit, But this one, is pretty good, and it sticks nice and it keeps the stencil on really good without it smudging hella heavily or anything like that. But yeah, here's that fucking just looking like straight up nut. Finna lather it on my homie, lube him up and shit. Obviously thought that fucking ripping off the stencil would have been way more satisfying, but this was like the most unsatisfying shit ever. But you know, chill little stencil. Alright, I got the stencil on and everything. So, you know, I kind of expanded it a little bit with Sharpie, you know, nothing too crazy. I'm gonna kind of show a little like time lapse of certain areas, and I'm gonna do another voiceover of my certain things. So most of the shit is gonna be time lapse and voiceover, but I am gonna get into a little clip of me and my client kind of just chopping it up, talking back and forth. But yeah, it'll be some chill shit. So, all right, here's my setup. You know, got my Bishop rotary, and then I got my round liners. For this one, I used the 2503 round liner and the 2505 round liner. Then I got my dark and light tones here, and then you know I got some distilled water in a cup just to wash out my dark tones and stuff. And then yeah, for the voiceover and all that stuff, I'm just over here free balling in stuff just because there's really no point in using a script or anything if I'm talking about what's going on on the screen in real time, you know. So obviously here I'm just doing my light tones, and then I'm gradually adding my dark tones. I usually like to do my lights and then my darks. Obviously for some foods they'll want to do their dark tones and then they do their light tones. You know, it's just different for everybody. You know, you just do what you feel like is best for you. But I always start from bottom and then I gradually go up to the top, just because for me, I like to do that just because as I'm going up, I'm obviously wiping away the excess ink and all that stuff. So as I'm doing that, it wipes away the stencil as I'm going up, so it's easier. So as I go up, it doesn't really wipe away the stencil as much as if I were to start like in the middle and then start wiping away and stuff, you know, because then I'll just lose my stencil, so that's not good. Also for my printer, I use a stencil printer. It's not like a Bluetooth printer. It's a normal printer, and I just have stencil ink in it that prints it. So obviously it tries to print all the like shadows and tones. Usually I don't do that when it comes to realistic pieces. So as you can see with the rose, it's just the lines, just because if it has the shadows and I try to do my light tones, those shadows on the stencil overlap it and I can't really see what I'm doing. So it just makes it harder. But for the bottom part and all that stuff, obviously that wasn't the case. It was easier for me to have the printer print out the shadows so that I could easily see where it is, because it would have been kind of hard to line all that stuff at the bottom. But obviously with the rose it was a different case. But yeah, but also I haven't been in the industry for too long, you know. I'm still learning and all that shit. I feel like even a lot of artists that are like crazy and super professional, they always learn something new, you know. That's just how art is. You always learn something. Even if you're a god at whatever you're doing, you still learn. Just for me, I always learn something every piece that I do. I always get something out of it. So don't take what I say to complete heart, you know. This is just what my knowledge is at the moment and all that shit, and I'm just like kind of sharing what I know, you feel me? So instead of sending hate on stuff you don't agree on, just give me tips and stuff like that, you know. Just spread love. But for this tattoo, well, for the whole tattoo, I used the 2503 round liner just because I usually like to use smaller round liners for small details and shading, all that shit, because I could just get more fine details and more realisticness to it, if that makes sense. Instead of like if I were to use a big needle, it wouldn't be as like, it wouldn't give the same effect, if that makes sense. You could use a round shader as well. The round shaders are a bit different for me. I kind of like to use round liners for those details instead. But yeah, and then obviously for this tattoo, starting from bottom to top, I think I already said if you start with like line work and shit, then obviously you could do all your line work and then shit like that, which makes it easier because you don't gotta rely on your stencil since you already have lines. But obviously that's not the case for this one. There's really no lines at all, so I'm just gradually doing that. For the wiping, I always use distilled water to wipe away the excess ink that's on the skin. Just because you do need to wipe that away, because obviously a normal wipe with the fucking napkin isn't going to take away that excess ink, and that excess ink kind of hides away your tones and makes it all dark, so you can't really see what the fuck you're doing. So distilled water helps wipe that away and also prevents it from wiping away the stencil, because witch hazel and green soap wipes away the stencil really easily, and also it just irritates the skin way more than if you were to just use normal water. But always use distilled water, never tap water, just because tap water and shit has bacteria and you don't want to put that in an open wound. But here's the tattoo kind of at the halfway mark, pretty solid so far. All right, then here I started doing like the sides of the rose and all that shit. I was stalling a little bit just because I wanted to save the rose for the end, and just so I was able to record me and my homie having a little conversation to put in the video, just because the shop was pretty full today, so I just didn't want any like background noises and just voices in the background. So for this voiceover as well, at the moment I'm standing pretty far away from my PC just because my shit sounded like a whole ass fucking jet. When you have a PS4 and you turn that bitch on, it sounds like a whole ass jet. That's what my shit sounded like.
I'm gonna play PS4.
Yeah, but that's why I'm keeping a distance from my PC just so my mic doesn't pick it up, because my mic ain't that crazy, but hopefully, I'm pretty sure it's good enough just for the voiceovers. But yeah, this is just a chill little time lapse, nothing too crazy. I didn't want to make the video too long, so I had to cut off, I cut off hella shit in the video just because then it would have been an hour-long video. But if y'all want a even more in-depth video and a longer video on my process, I'll definitely be down to do that. But if that for sure won't be until like the future, and see how my general videos do. Just trying to make the video and the whole process as interesting as possible, even for people that aren't really into art and drawing. Still want to make it as enjoyable as I can for them as well, you feel me? In the future as well, I do plan on investing in like little clip-on mics and stuff for me and my client, and hopefully that'll cut off any background noise, because you'll see once we get into the clips of me and the homie talking, you'll kind of hear the machine in the background. I edited the sound as much as I could to get out like all that background noise and stuff. So if it's too much, let me know. I feel like it's not too bad, but it might be annoying for some people, but shit, oh well. So, but if I do get like those clip-on mics, it'll probably be better, especially because I'm trying to do a little like interview podcast type of feel for like the tattoos and stuff, just a general conversation with my client, nothing too crazy, just to also make the video more interesting, like I said. But yeah, I just want to see how my videos start doing overall, and then I'll start investing more into the video making and do better quality, probably get a better quality camera and all that stuff. I use my phone camera and it's like another little camera just so I could have two, and so obviously you'll kind of see quality switch in different spots, and that's why. We got most of the shading done and shit. Later on I'm gonna come back and darken some little parts that I want to fucking get to, but I ain't gonna do that shit to the end. But yeah, pretty much got most of it done. Just gotta do the rows and shit. Just looking tight. But how's the pain? How's the pain so far, G?
Yeah, it's been good, bro. It hasn't been too bad. I feel like it's about to be bad right now, but I think I'm gonna be good.
Yeah, we'll see how it feels when we're at the fucking elbow. Yeah, right here I'm gonna have two separate cameras. I'm gonna have one on the tattoo, and then I'm gonna have one on us. We're gonna just like chop it up a little bit. Alright, so I'm using a 3-round liner for this, and the voltage that I'm using is a 5.4 voltage. I have a mag here, but I don't think I'm gonna need the mag, honestly, but we'll see, because usually I just shade with one needle, but for the rows, well, we'll see what happens, but I got it ready just in case. But yeah, obviously, like I was saying, I always start with my light tones, and then I'm gonna darken them over time. As I'm doing this and shit as well, obviously gonna be yapping a little bit, and then the rest of the video is gonna be like time lapse, like the rest of the rows, so y'all get to kind of see like a little bit of my process. Feels good, huh?
Shit hurts.
What kind of made you want to like get this type of like tattoo?
I was seeing this style around. I always thought that shit was hard, bro. But the way we doing it right now, it's like we put in a spin on it.
Yeah, for sure. As y'all know and shit, my boy right here, he makes music. So like, we both artists and shit. And like one thing I was gonna ask too is like, so usually for me when it comes to like drawing,
Yeah.
usually I be like my worst critic, you know, like when it comes to anything that I draw or do, like obviously I know it'll look good, but to me, like I always, instead of seeing what looks good, I always see what I could do better. So I was wondering, like, does that kind of apply to making music and shit too, or?
Yeah, for sure, bro. I mean, bro, there's been many times, like, bro, I'm recording music, bro, and I'm like, I don't like how this is sounding, bro. And I have to, like, deadass just switch that shit all the way up. Trying new shit, trying new flows, new sounds, bro. Sometimes I'm in the studio, bro, and it's like I can't get a bar down, bro. And I'm here for a while, bro, and I'm just like, fuck, bro. But it's deadass, like, just trying new shit, trying different shit. Makes you, bro. It makes you have bars, bro, because you find new ways to flow.
I feel like when you do art, you'll never stop learning. A lot of people, you know, even a lot of artists that are like crazy at drawing, they're always learning something new. Yeah, but right now, I'm adding my super light tones right now and shit. And then obviously I'm gonna go in and start adding my darks. For this one, I like the rose because it's kind of like the darkness is coming from up here. Like as you can see here, darkness is kind of at the top, and then if the lighting switches up like towards this area, so it kind of like focuses on that shit. Just don't give up on shit, you know, like shit takes time. If you have to do something every day for like 5 years of your life just to get somewhere, it'll be worth it in the end, you know. Like shit's not just gonna come to you in a fucking few months. Like shit usually takes years, you know. It applies with a lot of things in life. How do you feel about like AI and shit? Because we were talking about earlier about like AI tattoos and shit. Obviously there'd be people making like AI music as well. Like how do you feel about that?
You have the whole AI making the whole fucking song. You did no recording of the vocals, no nothing. And you claim you're an artist? That's like, that's sad, bro.
Yeah.
That just like discredits everything of the definition of an artist. You just, that ass just put it into a fucking ChatGPT and shit.
That's exactly how I feel about art and AI art, because a lot of tattoo artists, you'll realize that a lot of tattoo artists, they're more in it for the money rather than the actual passion of it. So they'll find any shortcut they can to make shit easy. And obviously a lot of tattoo artists will use AI, but that's because they can't fucking design shit off of their fucking dome. Like they're not able to do that. Like they don't physically know how to draw, so they'll just have shit generated for them, which is like bullshit, you know. And I feel like that's even worse when it comes to tattooing, because why are you gonna put some AI shit on like somebody's body for life, you know? They just know how to tattoo and they know how to copy shit. They don't know how to make their own physical artwork, you know?
Could say the same thing to like music stand wise with AI and shit. It's just like we deadass have AI, like it's the problem is it's the labels too. These labels are pushing AI artists. There's no way that you see real talent and you would rather make the quick money off an AI artist. They bought the streams, they bought the views, so it looks like, oh, they got motion, and it's just like a fake person.
Yeah, it's taking shit from people, you know, that could actually have talent, you know. And it's just laziness, bro. Like, they don't want to go out their way to do that. They look for the cheaper way. Yeah. To like save money and time. If you want quality, then you gotta work for that shit, you know. And people don't want to work for that shit.
There's so many talented artists out here waiting for like a chance, bro. And and these labels would rather use AI slop. And it's crazy.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of not as popular artists and shit, a lot of the times they be better than these other artists that be hella like popping and shit.
See, this is what happens when you start talking about fucking the industry, brother.
Nah, fucking like, bro, we was talking about some deep ass shit, and then tell me why my phone like cuts off, cause my phone kind of slid into the grip of the stand that I'm in, and it turned off my phone, so all the recording that I just recorded it just disappeared and shit. I'm doing my light tones of the rose, like I'm slowly building up my tones and shit. But we were pretty much just talking about how art and music is like super similar in different ways, and I brought up the aspect of just you want to learn how to skate, draw, whatever the fuck you want to do. You just put your mind to it, put the effort to doing it, and you'll be able to do it. You feel me? Like I was saying how like a lot of people will be like, oh, you were born with the talent to fucking draw and shit. Like nah, fool. I wasn't born with the talent to draw. I was born with the fucking discipline to fucking make myself draw all the fucking time. But it wasn't like forcing myself. It's just because I actually love drawing and making art, you know. And obviously when I started, like I didn't start off as a fucking pro. I've been drawing ever since I was a little ass kid. So obviously if I was drawing since then, obviously you're gonna improve, you know. Like if you do literally if you do something fucking 30 minutes every fucking day for like 2 fucking years, you'll see a big ass improvement. Sometimes I don't see a lot of original shit, so that's just one thing that just fucking sucks. That's why, you know, if you want to become a tattoo artist, I really recommend learning how to fucking draw, because you learning how to draw makes shit so much fucking easier for you, and I feel like you could get more clientele like that because you know how to make designs and design shit for people so they can get original designs, you know, because a lot of people do look for original designs and they can't find that shit. So you could be that fucking artist for them that does know how to do those original shits, you know. You don't have to say the same fucking story, but just kind of say how like you got into making art and music and shit again.
Bro, back then, bro, during COVID, bro, me and my homies, bro, we make music for fun. And we would make diss songs. The homie Jordan, he was making a YouTube video at the time because a whole lot of Red came out. We started making like music like that, and it was fun. And we just kept doing it. And one day we made a song. It was called Lacking, and that shit did hella good on the SoundCloud. That shit got 10K plays, and bro, we just started taking music serious after that. To be honest.
Yeah, that's fire, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Stay consistent with it this whole time and shit, you know?
Yeah. I feel like it shows a lot because, like, my music starting out compared to now sounds, like, so different.
Yeah.
And it's just, like, damn, you see the progression and, like, the evolution
that's why it's good to always keep your old shit, you know, because that's how you see progress, you know? All right, and then right here, we're finishing up the elbow. For the top part of it, I had him bend his elbow just because fucking elbow would be straight up ball sack skin, like on some real shit. That should be annoying as fuck to tattoo sometimes. Obviously, if he had his arm down, it'd be all flappy, and you can't really tattoo that. You gotta make sure whatever area you're tattooing is stretched out as much as you can. And obviously, if he bends his elbow, it fully stretches the skin. So that's why I had him do that. And for this rose though, I was hella proud of this shit. Like that shit just looks fucking beautiful. It just blends in really well for the tattoo. It really just brought everything together, you know, just the final step. But yeah, I didn't end up using the mag just because there was really no point in using the mag in this one, especially for those small ass details. But what single needle, you just get so much more detail. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole process of the tattoo.
Get some sleep.
Yeah. So you're not fucking exhausted.
Yeah, not too exhausted.
That shit don't burn or what?
Bruh, sometimes you just gotta like take it.
Hey yo. Pause. Alright, this is my bird. We got that shit finally fucking done. It's just looking tight. Hell yeah. And then got the rose. I'm really happy with this fucking rose. That shit looks sick. And it obviously hella blends into the rest of the tattoo, you know? It doesn't look like it's just like fucking PNG fucking slapped on. It like all flows and blends together and shit, which is tight. But what was your pain rating, bro?
Shit, I'll give it a solid 7 out of 10. You know, we had some areas that hurt like a bitch, but most of that tattoo, you know, we was getting through it. We was chilling. Man.
Besides that elbow and shit, huh?
Besides that elbow, bro, I say this was one of the like more better tattoos.
Yeah,
sure.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, this shit was tough, bro.
Hell yeah, there you go. There you go.